I gave the alien woman a blanket to keep warm, but she reacted unexpectedly. The wind was sharp that night, cold enough to bite through metal and bone. Our outpost was deep in the northern ridges, far from the warmth of the cities, far from anything really, just stone and silence, and the occasional howl of distant creatures. I was standing watch alone, wrapped in my thick coat, boots dug into the ice, breath visible in the air. The stars above us were clear, and the moons cast long shadows. Then I saw her. She was barely more than a silhouette at first, moving through the snow slowly, like she did not know how to walk. Her figure was thin, delicate, almost broken by the cold. I raised my rifle, but she did not flinch, did not run. She just stood there and stared at me, her eyes glowing faint blue, her skin a pale silver that shimmered in the moonlight. She wore nothing but tattered cloth. Her arms were bare, her feet raw and frozen. She was an alien, one of the kind we had been told to fear. But she looked like she would fall if I breathed too hard. She took one more step, then fell to her knees, and said something in a language I did not understand. I hesitated, my training screaming in my head, but my heart told me something else. I lowered my rifle, walked to her slowly, and took off my blanket. It was rough, military issue, smelled like machine oil and dust, but it was warm. I draped it over her shoulders, and she froze, literally did not move. Her eyes widened, her breath hitched. She looked at the blanket, then at me, and then back at the blanket. Her hands touched it carefully, like it was something fragile. Then she made a sound, soft, like a gasp, and tears spilled from her eyes. She buried her face in the blanket, hugged it tight, and shook. I did not know what I had done, but it was clear it meant something, far more than I had guessed. She tried to speak again, her voice trembling, but the translator on my wrist could not make sense of it. So I crouched beside her and simply stayed close. The others in the outpost came out, some with weapons drawn, but I raised my hand, and they stopped. They saw her, saw what I saw, and something passed between all of us, a silent understanding. We brought her inside, gave her water, heat, food. She did not eat at first, but kept the blanket around her, wrapped so tightly it was like part of her. Later, after hours had passed, she spoke again, and this time the translator caught a few words. Safe, warm, never before. We learned her name was Alari. She had escaped from a prison ship. She was a healer among her people, captured during the war, then forgotten when the war ended, left on this frozen planet for over a year. She told us, slowly, through broken words, that on her world, a blanket was not just cloth. It was a symbol, a sacred thing. To give someone a blanket was to declare them under your protection, to offer them a bond of safety and soul. It was something only done between family, or those you trusted with your life. She could not believe I had done it, could not understand why. I told her it was nothing, just a simple gesture. She laughed softly and said, "To you it is simple. To me it is everything." Days passed, then weeks. She stayed with us, helped treat wounds, helped grow strange alien plants that boosted our rations. She taught us songs, taught us silence, and I began to see her differently, not as a stranger, not as something alien, but as someone, just someone. One night, as snow fell heavy outside, she sat beside me near the heater. She still wore the blanket, never took it off, even when offered new clothes. She said it reminded her she was not alone. She leaned into me, softly, resting her head against my shoulder. I asked her why she reacted the way she did. That night, I gave her the blanket. She looked at me, eyes glowing in the dim light, and said, "No one ever touched me with kindness before. Not during war. Not during capture. Not even before I was taken. When you gave me that blanket, you gave me a home, even if you did not mean to." Her words hit me hard. I had no reply, only silence, but she did not seem to mind. Later that night, she stood at the door, looking at the snow. "Do you know what I see?" she asked. I shook my head. "I see hope," she said, "because when you gave me warmth, I learned something I did not think your kind was capable of. You cared." I walked up beside her and placed my coat over her shoulders. She smiled. "Will you ever leave?" I asked. "Not unless you ask me to," she replied. "I never will." I told her. From then on, Laurie was not just part of the outpost. She became part of us, part of me. When command finally came to pick her up, we said no. We told them she was one of ours now, that if they wanted to take her, they would have to take all of us too. They backed down. Peace had made the world forget what war had broken. But we remembered kindness, and how one moment could change a life. Years later, we left that frozen world, moved on to a new station, warmer, brighter. Laurie and I shared a room. She still kept the blanket, old and torn now, but precious, more than any medal I ever earned. She still looked at me sometimes, with those glowing eyes, and whispered, "You gave me warmth, and I will never let you be cold again." And she never did. The galaxy turned. Wars ended. New ones began. But in that moment, in that simple act, we had found something that could not be broken. Not by ice, not by fear, not by time. Just one blanket, given without thought, received with soul, and the unexpected bond that followed.